Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Orsini, and this is a very special episode of MSP Dispatch. We're doing a report here at Right of Boom, where I'm being joined by MSPs, vendors, industry analysts, and people we all follow around the security space all year long. And joining me here is somebody no different. We were just going over the history, and it is nothing short of phenomenal how this short history, what's been accomplished. Please help me welcome Mr. Tim Golden, founder of Compliance Scorecard. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well, Ray. Thanks so much for having us. We're really excited. As you said, it's been a short period, but it feels like a long period sometimes. We've had a lot of great success this past year. Lots of good people in the industry helping us along the way, yourself included. So thank you.
No, my pleasure. And going back to that history, your official launch was Right of Boom last year, which means we're rounding on a year.
We are.
Right? And it was not launched as Compliance Scorecard. It was launched as
Compliance Risk.
Compliance Risk. And in that short 12 months, going through this list, you've had CompTIA, CCF, finalists for nomination, and finalists for cyber leadership. You have Channel Pro, just as recent as last quarter, leading your category in data privacy. You were named by MSSP Alerts top 250 in your category. The rebranding, the Arnie Bellini, the Bellini Capital announcement of their investment into your company, and we're at a year.
As we were sitting here, kind of just jotting some notes down, and I was like, "Wow, that's a lot longer than I actually like." Sometimes it still doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
A lot of our success is due to the community at large. I think most of you know me well enough to know that I like to be able to help educate and help MSPs better their businesses and better their small businesses that they work with. And I think that resonates with things like MSP Geek, for example, and just the community at large is something that's really important to me. And obviously, the support of the community has been really helpful as well.
So, and that community, do you attribute that involvement in the community with some of the reasoning for why you've had these amazing leaps and bounds? I mean, you started at nothing. You started nothing, pretty much. And fast forward 12 months later, you're at version 4.2.4 of your software.
Yeah.
And we have PDF export, and that's V1. And we have, these are, I watched the release notes. I want to ask you though, is that based on community feedback? Is that where are you getting these ideas that not only inform the direction you're going, but actually help you execute them?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously that's, part of our community and part of, our partners and our clients. I hate to use the word clients because we're really establishing those partnerships and those relationships. Having been in the space for so long and used a bunch of the things that were out there and seeing the gaps that weren't being fulfilled. So obviously as a product-led founder, there's a lot of ideas and a lot of things that I want to bring forward to help the community, but getting that feedback from our existing customers, from our new even here today at Right of Boom, hearing from some of the people that we talked to at our booth and that's a really good idea. Put a feather in that and come back to it. And, we have a really solid development team. Change management is very important, QA, all of that fun stuff. But yeah, version 4 in 12 months, it's a little weird because I'm like, wait a minute, as I said earlier, it doesn't feel real. But then I look back and yeah, we've come a long way. It's because of the partnerships, the relationships, and the community at large and getting that feedback to be able to provide good services to the MSPs. And
so, speaking of best in class, for anybody that doesn't know what Compliance Scorecard, formerly known, and I only bring up formerly known as Compliance Risk because of the whirlwind timeline you guys had, right? So what you talked about filling a need in the space and learning about that from within the community, what is the need that Compliance Scorecard fills for the MSP space?
Well, it's actually pretty timely because NIST has just released their new 2.0 version, and they've added a whole new domain around governance. And we solve for that governance as a service. We help MSPs manage that stuff. And so having the foresight, a year ago, this is a spot in the industry that is really going to be important when it comes to not just compliance, but even think of cyber insurance. And that govern function, that ability to work alongside your customer as an MSP and involve them in that conversation around risk, we try to simplify that as easy as we can.
And so one of the things I wanted to bring up specifically, it's more poignant with your story specifically. I see a lot of new vendors here, right? I've been coming to Rob. This is my third Rob, Right a Boom. I see a lot of new names and new company names that I don't recognize from the space. You were in that once where you're launching and people don't know who you are, right?
Yeah.
Besides, the people have been, like myself, that have been close friends for a while. But what would you say to them? They're launching, they're going through the same experiences you went through 12 months ago.
Yeah. So, and I'm gonna do a little plug for our good friends at Empath, right? So Wes and Alex and Kyle, right? Because better together, right? Vendors are stronger together. And so, some of the lessons that I've learned along the way is have a good advisory team. Have people that you are willing to listen to speak into your life, both from a business perspective and a personal one. One of our advisors comes out with his accountability bat and beats me over the head when I need to, right?
Absolutely.
So as a new vendor into the space and those that are trying to break into our emerging market, surround yourself with the good people. I'm blessed to have an amazing co-founder who's also my wife, who keeps me wrangled in. Having those people in your life that can speak into your life, but you need to be vulnerable enough to listen to them and take those actions along the way.
And that can't be easy because, like you said, you're the founder of the company. This is literally your baby. You brought it from nothing into existence. And then, being able to take the feedback from others and say, well, that's a great idea, Tim, but we'd rather do this. We find this more productive.
Yeah.
As having been in that position before myself, I understand the pain that comes with that. How do you get over that? Because that would hold you back if you didn't listen to others.
Lots of late nights crying over my spilt milk. No, I'm kidding. So, it's just part of who I am as a person, right? I personally can only get better where I'm being, informed of those areas that I need to improve.
Yeah.
And so I bring that mindset to our business of how can we be better, right? Our goal is to help the MSPs and help their small businesses. And now that I'm stepped out of our MSP role, I'm not in that every day. And so you as the MSP in that trenches all day, providing that feedback, it can be tough. There's a couple of times that I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And then when 3 or 4 people say that, I'm like, okay, maybe I should be doing that. And so swallow the pride, swallow the whatever, and, do what's best for the company, do what's best for the product, and ultimately helping the MSPs.
So I'll wrap it with this last question. What is next in doing what's best for the company, what's best for the MSPs? You've done tons of integrations. You continue to work on more. You want to talk about some of the integrations you have today?
So there's roughly 12 already. There's 29 on the roadmap. Like MSPs have access to all the data and it's all disjointed. So bringing this together as a data lake and being able to provide those services and sort of, I am not saying single pane of glass, but bringing those pieces together to make it easier for you to have the risk conversation with your clients in terms that they can relate to. What's our future? I have a lot of big plans. I have a lot of things that I think will really help MSPs operationalize compliance. It's a scary word. A way to reduce your risk and your customers' risk and double your revenue along the way.
So little goals, little bit.
Little goals.
Well, I'm very excited to see you do exactly that. If you want to reach out to Tim or anybody else on the Compliance Scorecard team, just go look at the show notes. We'll have his LinkedIn. We'll have the company website and the best way to reach out to them. Tim, thank you so much. I appreciate you. It was awesome following your story.
Right. Thank you so much for having us again. So we're very excited. We're here for you to help you govern your customers and protect your small businesses and make a little money along the way.
Sounds good. Take care, everybody.
This has been a broadcast of the MSP Media Network.